Hello, once again. I'm Pastor Jeremy Combs, and we're going to pause for a proverb. Let's go. Proverbs chapter 2, and we're going to be looking at three verses today, verses 16, 17, and 18. Verse 16 says, "To deliver thee from the strange woman, even from the stranger, which flattereth with her words." Well, we've been looking at the evil man. Now we come to the second dangerous person that the wise person may come into contact with, and that is someone described as the strange woman. She's a woman who has forsaken her biblical or moral guide to indulge herself in sensuality. She's found 8 times in Proverbs. She's also referred to as other names. She's referred to as a prostitute, as a whore, as a stranger, another, someone who has gone away. Now, don't misunderstand the strange woman. She's not this way because of a mistake, but it's more a mindset. This will become clear as we look at these verses. For starters, just like the evil man, the strange woman is identified by her words. She uses flattering words. Warren Wiersbe says, "Flattering is this: people telling us things about ourselves we enjoy hearing and wish were true." Isn't that the way that goes? Men are especially vulnerable and enticed by this because it's a stroking of their ego. So men, you've got to be careful with the strange woman because of her flattering words. And ladies, let's be careful that our words are true and they're never used to manipulate others. We go to the next verse, which is verse 17, to delve deeper. It says, "Which forsaketh the guide of her youth, and forgetteth the covenant of her God." We see not only does she use flattering words, we see also that she has forsaken the way and she has forgotten the word. Forsaken the way. As parents, you teach your children to not talk to strangers. Now, are there kind strangers out there? Are there honest strangers? Are there trustworthy strangers or people we don't know? Well, the obvious answer to that is yes. But there's also the possibility that they can be, these strangers, deceitful, dishonest, and unkind. So kind of the best rule of thumb for them is to avoid strangers altogether, since they are undiscerning and vulnerable children. And so we find this woman, and she has forsaken the way. She's forgotten the word. She's a stranger, not in the sense that we don't know her, but the fact is she doesn't know God. Strange in Hebrew means to turn aside. It also has the idea of to profane. She has intentionally turned aside from God. She's forsaken her parents and whatever moral guideline she's had. And then on top of that, she has forsaken the precepts of God's word. Her intention is never to go back, and she wants you to join in her rebellion. So if you're wise, you've got to watch out for this strange woman and stay on that path of godly wisdom. One more verse, and we'll wrap it up today. Verse number 18, "For her house inclineth unto death, and her paths unto the dead." We've seen that she uses flattering words, that she has forsaken the way, that she has forgotten the word, and then we see now that her failure is widespread. It's Aesop who said this: "Men seldom flatter without a purpose, and they who listen to such strange music may expect to pay the Pied Piper." Well, what is the price of listening to the strange woman? First, we see that there's great failure in the home. Her house inclines unto death. Violence and immorality usually go hand in glove. Truth dies, and then when truth dies, relationships die. If not physically, they die emotionally, and ultimately they can also die spiritually, and it is your whole house that ends up paying that tab. The second failure we see is the failure of the heart. Major theme of Proverbs, which we'll get into shortly, is keep thy heart with all diligence. That is, we've got to keep it completely. We either give our heart fully to God and his wisdom, or we will end up giving our heart fully to wickedness. There's no middle ground. You ever play tug of war? You put one pulling on this side, one pulling on that side. You put a string or a tape or something on the rope to where it's either going one way or the other. Either one side's winning and the other side's losing, or vice versa. So what side is going to win in your life today? Wisdom or the enemies of it? And one of the great enemies of the wise is the strange woman. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.